Hello everybody, welcome to the Otaku channel. My name is April, also known as Sailor Poof, or known as Pew Pew. This one over here, his name is Dane, aka...
I'm the prototype.
Hey, I'm Skippy. And over here, we got Eddie, also known as...
the editor and basically the person who runs this channel. Hi, how are you?
Again, it's like I keep telling him and telling everybody that are going to be involved. It's not just my channel, it is everyone's channel.
I'm just the one that edits and controls what goes on it.
Basically, he's the parent of this one, so there. So, anyways, what we are going to be talking about, Rwby Volume 1.
Uno.
But, just letting y'all know, there are going to be spoilers. So, be prepared. And if y'all have not watched Volume 1, pretty please.
Go check it out.
Go check it out. Back out of this video and go check it out.
You won't be disappointed.
Exactly. You won't be disappointed.
So who wants to go first?
So the subject of today is our favorite scenes.
Our least favorite scenes. And then what our favorite scene is overall throughout the entirety of Volume 1.
Also, when we first found the series, what was our first impressions individually? Because I owe it to you that I found it.
Same here.
So it would make more sense. What was your first impression of the series when you first started watching it?
I don't know, I just thought it was entertaining. I liked the comedy, I liked the fight scenes, and I thought... I don't know, I enjoyed it.
At first, when I say the music video at first, I really thought it was a game at first because of how it looked. But then, once he told me that it was a show, and then the trailers, then the episodes, which was, I love it.
You start with the 4 trailers first.
Yes.
We all made the mistake of watching Chapter 1 first.
Well, none of us really knew that there were trailers existed.
Yeah. We missed out on the trailers.
Because, like I was telling y'all before we started shooting this, the only time anybody really would have known of Rwby at this point was because people religiously followed Rooster Teeth, and I don't know if it was Machinima was still working with them at the time.
No.
But most people, whenever somebody said Rooster Teeth, the first thing they thought of was Red versus Blue. So we wouldn't have had a clue.
I don't even think I started watching Red versus Blue when I found Rwby either.
The only time we started watching Red versus Blue was thanks to our camera guy.
Yep. But also,
hi, neighbor.
And you know what? When I heard about the trailers, I thought it'd be like, you know how in every TV show there's a trailer, but not like this. It seemed like more like a prologue.
It's because that's what it is.
And
it's a part of like the officials.
I know, but this was back then. That's what I thought at first. But then, after rewatching it over and over and over and over, because I loved it, prologue!
It created a problem that we can no longer control.
What was the problem?
You have a problem.
Most importantly,
you have a problem. There needs to be a rehab.
Me, I rewatched that yellow trailer multiple times. You can ask them, because they were present for that.
Yeah.
Yep. The multiple times we'd have our friends over at our place for the weekend, walk into the living room. Are you watching that again? Yep. Why? Because it's cool.
And it's
You've seen it 1,000 times.
And also, too, it's Yang. You can't...
Fair point.
You can't go wrong, damn it.
We'll cover that in another video, though.
Yeah, definitely. Anyway, so,
shoot.
Who wants... So now that that little section's out of the way, who wants to start off with our favorite moments for Volume 1.
I'll go.
Okay.
I'd have to say probably one of my favorite moments. We're probably just going to keep it to what, 1 or 2?
It can be however many, like whatever you think is relevant.
Probably one of my favorite moments, and it was the way I see it, it was a much needed scene, especially for character development at the time, and as early on in the series as it was the scene when Professor Port had to talk with Weiss. Because as you watch the series, your first impression of Weiss is, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
She's a snobby little princess that got her way. You're a stereotypical rich girl. So, she's questioning Rwby as, you're not fit to be a leader. I should have did this. I should have did that. I should have been me. And having the scene between her and Professor Port where he was basically telling her, no, you are wrong.
Like, Port was basically, like, I like the scene too, because Port's basically like, it's like, Port was very much, I trust Ozpin's judgment in making Rwby the team leader.
He's never steered me wrong before.
Yeah, but because Port was basically like, it's like, you're good, don't get me wrong, but not so much a leader. He's like, not, and just because you're not the leader doesn't mean that you can't be.
It doesn't make you any less important.
Yeah, he's like, doesn't mean you're less important. It just means that you're just not the leader.
He basically shut her up.
He told Weiss what she's been needing to hear for years. That she was never told by her father.
Yeah, that's a conversation for later.
That is a conversation for later. But at first impression, you can just tell by her character, she always got what she wanted. And she's not used to being told no. So, with Professor Port essentially just telling her, no, you can't have that. You're not, whatever you want to, interpret it as. I view it as detrimental for her character because you start seeing a character shift after that point.
At least towards Rwby.
Rwby initially,
like her overall character kind of like
that was a
shifts a little bit, but like a lot, like the majority of that shift was towards Rwby.
Yes, but as we're gonna get into it in other videos as the series goes on, you can see that was the ultimate like pivoting point.
That woke her up.
I wouldn't say it woke her up. She was very woke. But no, it was just a good development device for her character. And that's why that is probably one of my favorite scenes in the first volume. It may not be the most action, it may not be, the most heartfelt, but it was a scene that was absolutely needed. Instead of, we're going to change your character.
It takes time.
They planted that very well, and I like it.
Okay, fine. I say with my best moment was Ozpin talking to Rwby, because, Rwby was starting to second guess herself about being a leader. To me, that's what it seems like. Because, Weiss, like he said, she thinks that Rwby's not fit to be a leader. Because
all Weiss did was cut her down.
And it's like, you're not giving her a chance. She's just starting as a leader, for crying out loud. Not everybody can get her right on the first day, But once she was talking to Ozpin, and he was lecturing her, and I loved it so much.
It was what Rwby needed for a confidence booster. She needed to be told, you can do it from somebody else besides her sister. Because as she saw it is, of course you're going to tell me you can do it. You're my sister. You're going to be there for me. But having one of the headmaster of that school will tell her, I believe in you and I chose you for a reason.
Mm-hmm. And she's the youngest in the group of Team Rwby, you know?
It's because she got moved 2 years ahead.
Because she had a talent.
That was more of which I think there's more to it, but that involves kind of going into later volumes. But in volume 1's context, it was more of she had impressed Ozpin, and that's why he decided to let her into the school.
Yeah. Because
that's where she already wanted to go. She even says so. But it was like the context for volume 1 gives it to where Ozpin was just like, she's got the you thing. Got what it needs, so I'm gonna let you in. That's as far as I'm going to touch on that subject, because again, the other bit of that conversation leads into later volumes. We will get to that in due time.
But yes, I love that moment because it's like he's telling her that, hey, you can do this. Do not freak out. You got this. He can see that. He can see something in her, you know, that makes, out of the team members, is just her, that he sees something more. So that's what I love. And it's like it's said on the opening, you know, this will be the day that I love that song and I love the opening. And it describes her a little bit. And I love Rwby.
You are the Rwby of our group. You're the smallest.
All I need is a red hood. Okay, Eddie?
Mine's probably going to have to be the... I mean, I'll get to what my ultimate favorite moment is a little bit later. I like Volume 1 in the sense that it's a good setup for all the characters that are going to be very heavily present later on in the series. It's not so much a good introduction for Weiss, because Weiss is just not likable all that much in Volume 1.
I hated her when we first started watching. I was like, okay, kill over.
Bitch slap.
No, kill over.
Everyone else, though, like Rwby, Yang,
Blake.
I love Nora. Nora's fantastic. I like John for the fact that he's the only one that actually didn't earn his spot in the school. He came up, he lied and had fake transcripts in order to get in. I like that kind of...
It shows his cunning side. And
not necessarily his cunning side, it's just kind of like, that's how determined he was, despite the fact he doesn't have the skills for it. Like, it's almost kind of...
Like, at the end of the day, it was a crappy thing to do, but that just goes to show exactly how determined he was.
Very determined.
Like, it shows his determination, but it's, like, I don't know, I really like how, not necessarily complex his situation is, but I just like that it's different from everyone else. Because, you know, you have everyone else who've clearly, they've earned their spot, and then you have John, who literally you see him and you're like,
you could pick him out of a crowd and be like, he doesn't belong.
Yeah, like you literally you look at him and you're like, what are you doing here?
Eating pumpkin pea cereal.
That's probably true. That's probably true.
Remember, that cereal is very bad for you.
That's probably true. Yeah. But I don't know. I like that. I like that mug. I'm not 100% sure if I want to try to censor it or not. I'm not 100% sure on whether or not I want to try to censor it.
I can hardly read that. I have to zoom
I'll
in.
give you the opportunity.
Oh God. Anyway.
Better be saying that to me. Thank God. In the famous words of Eddie, I don't care who started it.
I'm finishing it. Music's dope.
Yes.
Like
yes.
Like easily I think even if you don't like the series, like you have to like the music.
The music was very, very good.
It's excellent.
I still plan on learning the opening.
Which one?
This will be a day I will learn how to play that. I just need to learn how to shred that quick.
Good luck to you.
I'm sad now.
Is that yeah, like I said, I think Volume 1 is for what the show is, it was a good introduction for the characters. Good music. The couple of fights that are in it are well done. I think my absolute favorite moment though is easily Team Rwby and Team Juniper versus the giant Deathstalker in the Nevermore.
Yes.
Alright, in the Nevermore's defense, it was just pissed because Rwby hitched a ride on it.
That is true. Or at least that's part of probably what irked it.
And the giant scorpion was just mad because, Jean grabbed a hold of its tail.
That was still great. Vera, it's not thrilling.
It's not thrilling!
Freaking flings him across the forest.
About a mile away. There's a girl in trouble.
No, it was whenever he did grab it, and then that's when he screamed. That girlish scream.
I'd scream that girlish scream too if I had a freaking 20-foot scorpion staring me in the face. Talk about Aunt Ruthie.
Prepare to meet your maker.
Aunt Ruthie?
But nah. That scene's definitely my favorite in Volume 1 because it does a lot of things. First thing it does is it establishes what the full teams are going to be able to do. Because already before that, you already know that, Rwby and Weiss are team, Blake and Yang are team, Ren is with Nora, John is Pyrrha. But they also made it clear that the team was going to consist of 4 different people. So, that established who was all going to be on a team. It also showed off more for John than Rwby especially for John, it showed that while he lacked the combat experience that everyone else had,
he had the leadership.
He had the leadership.
Yes.
Rolled down. And so that wasn't so surprising when later on, after that fight, Ozpin names John the leader of his team because he showed that in him. He's not a good fighter, but
he's a strategist.
He's a strategist and he's a good leader. Rwby, it kind of Rwby only gets that one little second of, I have a plan, and then we get to see the execution of that plan, and it shows that it worked. But I don't think it was as meaningful as for John.
No, not really.
Because everyone on Team Rwby, it was anyone who had watched the trailers before that was already well aware that all 4 members of that team are really OP.
Yeah.
And and it wasn't much of a shock when Rwby gets named team leader because
Hello.
main character.
And the title.
Hello.
Yeah, and the title. So, but I mean, overall, it was just that on top of it was an awesome fight.
Excellent, Eddie.
It was.
Mm-hmm.
And if I may add on that, another importance of that fight, though, yes, it did establish what teams were what, between Team Juniper and Team Rwby, but it also linked that connection between all 8 members and created that little circle of friends that, granted, yeah, when they first met each other, they're all pretty much, to each other, they're like, I don't want anything to do with you.
Not really.
And Blake.
Mostly for Weiss.
Mostly for Weiss. Blake, too. Blake, too, for a while.
Blake, I don't think just gave an F.
Yeah. She was being a cat. But, okay, I'll stand corrected on that. But, you've got the only people off of Team Juniper that know anybody from Team Rwby is Jean.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure Ren, Nora, and Pyrrha, they know who the other 4 girls are, but they've never really...
Not necessarily.
I'm sure they've heard
I mean,
of
some of them probably, they all probably know who Weiss is.
Yeah.
If you don't know who Weiss is past the first episode,
But, as far as, Yang and Rwby, there was no reason for them to know them at that point.
fair enough. But yeah, after that fight, it brought everyone into that... It started creating that tight-knit circle of close friends that, granted, yes, they weren't on the same team as each other, but if put in a pinch, they can both work with each other and still be a dominant force.
So, with that out of the way, let's get to the section that the comment section is going to love us for. What do we dislike about Volume 1?
Characters, scenes, what are we looking for here?
Oh, whatever you disliked about Volume 1. They can be nitpicks or just straight up just you hate it.
I know you've got a nitpick, but I don't know if it's in this volume or next volume.
It's the one I think
it's
you're thinking of. It's next volume.
Okay, that's what I figured. I just wanted to make sure.
I have a couple of nitpicks. I mean, I have a couple of nitpicks, but
Volume 1, in Volume 1, I got nothing. No dislike.
Oh, okay.
I have to think on that one. God, why can't I stop yawning?
Because you're the day-day.
We're in 23 minutes.
Okay.
Okay. Eddie, do you have any dislikes in Volume 1?
You're going to make me go first.
Of course, because he's the nitty-gritty goat titty.
You said that you're thinking about it.
Well, I was saying, of course, Eddie's got some gripes about it. He can't
Welcome
never
to
find...
the section that the comment section is going to love me for. I made a mistake when I said love us for fucking... Y'all gotta love me. Okay, so I'm going to start off with nitpicks first. Some of them are small, some of them are kind of eh. I only have one real big issue, but that one's going to be last. Nitpick number 1. Is if you were one of the people that watched the White trailer, you watched all the trailers before Chapter 1 for Volume 1. When you watch the White trailer, and then when you watch Chapter 2, when you first meet Weiss, that is not how I expected her character to be. I mean, I saw Chapter 1 first, so I was automatically like, oh, okay, that's your character. But, when I finally went back and saw, the White trailer, I expected Weiss to be kind of like an idol.
Well, some idols, yeah, they can be...
I know, but, I was expecting her to be kind of like this kind of almost this kind of idol character that was just trying to get away from that kind of thing because she was just like people were only seeing her as that and not her, and that's kind of if I had seen the white trailer, that's what I would have pegged Weiss as. And I mean, you get chapter 1, she's just a complete snob, and it's just I don't know, like it's an extremely small nitpick, but it's one that I was just like, I don't know, like,
but the white trailer was all. Like, the white trailer was always open to interpretation, so the way, one person interprets it there could be the difference of another. But
there wasn't a whole lot of interpretation for that. It really wasn't. Especially with the Mirror Mirror song.
Very fair point. Mm-hmm. I forget you dig into things like this.
I do. Like I said, the comment section's gonna love me.
Every time we show him a new show, whether it's an anime, regular TV show, whatever,
I'll find something wrong with it.
Before we're even like, hey, we found something you may like, we go to the tool shed, pick out the shovel, and say, here's your weapon. I found something for you. May you start digging.
Nitpick number 2, and this one actually turns into pretty big. It starts off as a little nitpick, but in later volumes, I think it becomes more of an issue for consistency and some other things, and that is the fact that why does Blake have the bow in the black trailer? Especially, and the reason I nitpick this is because the whole reveal that Blake is a Faunus. I know it was supposed to be like this big reveal, but it really wasn't. I think a lot of people had already figured out that there was something up with Blake, and then when the whole issue of the Faunus popped up, everyone immediately, she's a Faunus. It just kind of made the...
Or if the subject was brought up, she gets very passionate about it.
Yeah, like
she ran from it.
I feel like that whole she's a Faunus reveal, it didn't really hold any weight, and it just kind of makes the whole black trailer with her wearing the bow in that trailer kind of just silly. Like I said, as a nitpick in volume 1, later on it becomes more of an issue, but we'll cover that when we get to that point, or at least I will. Nitpick number 3.
Dun, dun, dun.
I think all of my nitpicks are more for the trailers than they are anything else. And this is actually, I think, the smallest nitpick of all. Why is it that everyone else has their song in their trailers, but Yang doesn't? Like, it plays at the very end of her trailer, but, like, why didn't they, like, I guess they just didn't have the full, like, I Burn song done when he got to that point, and that's why they had to do that. But it just kind of bugs me that Yang doesn't get her song for the entirety of that trailer. If you're worried about time, Josh, I'm not at this point.
I was wondering.
It's gonna go over.
Yeah, okay.
Let's see. I mean, I don't have a problem with like the overall look of the volume. Like, I know there's some people that they see volume 1 and they're immediately like, why does it look like that? And I'm just kind of like
when I first saw it, because you showed me it and I was like,
yeah, that's kind
of
like,
what in the world?
That's what people's main focus is, how they look, how everything looks.
It gets better.
Trust me, it does.
Give them a chance. You won't be disappointed.
Like, if you're put off by how like volume 1 looks, keep in mind, like to point out the fact that they had the budget of a hamster wheel. Like, he literally had no budget for it. So, like,
Rooster Teeth is pretty much, if this flops, that's it. We're only going to give you so much.
Yeah, because nobody was expecting it to become, like, their flagship show. Mm-hmm. They were expecting it to be, like, a one-off, and then that was going to be it.
Thank you, Monty.
Yeah. Yes, thank you, Monty.
I didn't so much have an issue with the whole bully arc with John. I know a lot of people had an issue with that one. I personally didn't. There's a couple little things I probably would have done differently, but I mean, overall, it's fine. So now for my big issue. The whole Blake and Weiss argument.
Oh, we're getting into this.
I'm getting into this.
Oh,
yeah, you're
okay.
gonna, yeah.
Here. Okay. Getting over here.
The whole argument is
You're out of the
so
bonus radius.
stupid. Granted, I mean, the whole Fauna storyline is stupid to begin with, but again, that's stuff for later volumes that y'all hate me for. Like, the whole argument, they try to set it up to where, like, Blake has this kind of moral high ground that's just not there, while trying to make Weiss look racist, and she's not.
Oh, I know exactly where you're getting this gripe from, because I remember having this conversation with you months ago.
Yes, it's so...
Stupid.
It's the dumbest fucking scene in all of Volume 1. And everybody's like, oh, Weiss is racist. No, she's not. The only racist in that scene is Blake. I can hear the keyboards just going fucking nuts. It's like the autistic screeching.
I'm going to go ahead and say this right now. It's a joke, people.
Yeah.
Get it out of a wad. We're not serious. We're serious about people getting butt hurt. That's as far as that goes. Relax.
All jokes aside, though, no, like everybody's defense for the whole, like, Weiss is racist in this scene is she refers to Sun as filthy faunus. I'm just like, that's not an argument. Because literally, like, everything else that Weiss says in this conversation
is valid.
She's shitting on the White Fang.
She's not shitting on the faunus. She's shitting on the White Fang because the White Fang has screwed up her dad's company.
Yeah.
Well, not necessarily the company. That's not what she's necessarily upset about. It's more of the fact that it caused her abuse as a result.
That's right. It caused her the turmoil inside of her house, and it broke the relationship between her and her father. Which, honestly, in retrospect, I think that would have wound up getting broken one way or the other. But that's for later volumes.
Yeah, but I mean, Weiss is not racist in this scene. Like, she makes one snide comment about Sun. But, again, the whole rest of this conversation she's just like, I hate the White Fang. The White Fang are terrorists, killers, and thieves, which they are.
She wasn't wrong.
Which is even the reason that Blake herself admits that's why she left.
Because she wasn't a terrorist, or a killer, or a thief.
Well, she was for a while.
Yeah.
She realized that wasn't her, though.
Yeah, she realized, it's like, hey, I'm doing something wrong here.
Her moral compass started pointing north.
But Blake the whole time, and especially, is just continuously defending the White Fang, despite the fact that she knows everything that Weiss is saying is valid, but because it's Weiss saying it, she has an issue.
Well, judging by Weiss's streak,
I mean, yeah,
I can see why Blake got defensive with her, because Weiss was a bitch.
I know, but, like, she was still right.
I know, but if you look at it from kind of Blake's standpoint, this chick's a bitch, and she's spouting off all this crap. She's only saying this out of hate. That's why I'm getting angry. I can understand that aspect.
I mean,
to an extent.
If it was somebody else, like either Rwby or Yang or Zora, John, anybody, you know.
Did you just say Zora?
Did I say that?
Yeah, you did.
Nora.
Nora, sorry, y'all.
Nora.
I'm sorry. I'm losing energy. Sorry. Nora.
Wake up. No, but you do raise a good point. Yeah, she would have still got defensive, but in a completely different way. It's because Weiss is so in your face when it comes to her making a point.
That like doing that.
That and when Weiss brings up the fact that like everything the White Fang had done had caused her abuse. Like literally, like if you watch that scene, like Blake has this look on her face, like I give zero fucks about what you went through. And then she tries to dig in her point even more by saying, well, you didn't give us a choice. Which outs her as a faunus, which makes her bail.
Yeah,
And then the next episode, Sun basically says the same shit that Weiss had been saying the previous one, but Blake doesn't jump on Sun when Sun says it.
Well, it may have also been the reason why she didn't jump on him the second time. It was a realization that, oh, wait.
Well,
it's not just her that thinks like this. My own kind even thinks like this.
Well, she was already aware of that. I mean, that was the whole reason she left, is because she felt that way.
Mm-hmm.
But she only got uppity at Weiss because,
Weiss.
It's Weiss.
I can see your gripe here. As it's broken down, I can fully see your gripe on this one.
Yeah. And then when they find the White Fang stealing all the dust at the shipyard, Blake is just kind of like, ah, damn it. But then the instant Roman shows up, she goes full. She goes in, puts the blade through his throat, and literally tells him she's gonna off him if he doesn't tell her what's going on.
She knows what's going on. Though.
Like she immediately goes back to that old White Fang mentality.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just sitting there. I'm just like, and everybody that watches the scene, and even you and heard some people at Rooster Teeth like refer to Weiss as racist Weiss in Volume 1. I'm just like, y'all don't know what.
That's not racist Weiss.
It's like y'all don't know what racist is. If that's literally what y'all think, I was like, Blake is the racist in this scene, not Weiss. Anyway, that's my complaint. Charge $1 for every death threat in the comments section. Just remember that.
Oh my god.
Oh, great.
I'm gonna be rich by the end of this.
You can kiss your channel goodbye. Eddie's tanked it.
Like I said, it's not my channel. It's our channel.
Oh yeah, Sasha?
Anywho's. Now, who is y'all's best character? Dane?
If we're going simply off of Volume 1.
Volume 1.
Not overall.
Not overall.
Okay. Out of everyone out of Volume 1, just going off of Volume 1, I probably would say Rwby. Which is probably going to be the consensus with most people except you. We know why you.
Same here with me. Whenever I first, Volume 1, loved Rwby.
Well, I mean, she's so small and delicate, but you make her mad, she throws a tantrum and chops a tree down with one slice. I mean, come on. Tree.
And also, too, I love the part where she sees people, like their different weapons. She's like, and stuff like that. And it's so cute.
Hi, how are you?
Stop it!
Mine is Yang.
Because?
I like brawlers. I mean, that's literally that's the only reason I actually kind of really liked Yang in Volume 1 is because I like brawler characters, and it was just cool watching her fight.
Alright. I already know what.
We covered everything?
Not yet.
Oh no.
Who is our worst character?
Oh, our least favorite character?
Yes, least favorite
in
character.
Volume 1?
Yes, in Volume 1. I can say it. Weiss.
Blake. For the reason that I explained earlier.
Well, with
I'd
me,
I'd have to say Weiss, and only for the fact that throughout the first volume, she is completely insufferable. She's
I mean, whenever I was finished with volume 1, I mean, before whenever I started it and stuff, watching it, and I was like, just give her a chance, Wise. Like, jeez, give Rwby a chance. Ease up. But then later on, some episodes, she eases up.
I don't know.
Much better.
I didn't mind Weiss that much just because of the fact that it's like, yeah, why she's an insufferable snob. Like
you had to bite your tongue on that.
I did. Like you see shifts in her, where her character is going to end up going here and there.
And her shifts are nice, but I mean, it still doesn't. The way I see it, it still doesn't outweigh the fact, at least for me, that she's a horse's ass.
I gotta stick with Blake. Just, for one, that the whole Weiss argument, and two, I don't know, Blake just didn't catch my attention like the other characters did. Like,
yeah,
I just didn't find, like, she was forgettable for me.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, yes, granted, she was helpful. She wasn't. Like, when you saw Nora, for example.
Like I said, I love Nora.
Nora's annoying Ren. And bashing the skulls of her enemies in. You saw Pyrrha, her outstanding athletic ability.
Mm-hmm.
Jean the goofball. Which,
yeah, like
that was the comedy.
Like everyone stands out except for Blake.
Blake's just kind of
there.
Eh. I'm an emo cat. I am an emo cat. Don't talk to me. I am cat.
But let's see. Did we or did we not?
I thought you told us to stay off our phone.
I did not say that. I said to keep your phones on silent. That's what I said. Ooh! There is one that I forgot. Penny.
Yeah, you gotta love Penny too.
Are they friends?
I get it.
Are they friends? It's like that anime meme. Is this a friend? I'm not proud of that, by the way.
So you say. But yes, Penny. That's one of the scenes that I like is Rwby and Penny. And also her weapons.
Which ones?
Also.
Which ones?
What do you mean which ones? The ones that I saw were the ones that were coming out of her back.
She's a walking weapon.
Okay.
She's a walking weapon.
Okay.
Don't you get all uppity with me. Yeah, I went there.
Anyways.
Children.
I was talking, and he decided to be smart.
For once in my life.
But yes. And also, too, like... Well, I can't say any more about Penny yet. I gotta wait till Volume 2. Till we do that review on Volume 2.
Which will come out... I don't know, probably a month after I post this one. Because this one's not going up until next week, a week from when I'm recording this. So,
what do you mean that's you're recording this? I don't see you behind the camera.
This. Yeah, I'm gonna shut up. I got a week to edit this shit and put it out.
Taking freaking Lord Donut's credibility over there.
Oh, but also one of the scenes I like is also Rwby meeting Jean And Weiss too, because, you know, Rwby made Weiss explode. And also, Jean being Jean.
That's it.
Yep.
Gentlemen, y'all got anything else?
Please hit the subscribe button. Please. Don't make my suffering in editing this go in vain. Please hit the subscribe button.
Yeah?
Name?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay then.
Also, go subscribe to Reggie Night Road AMVs.
And
That's my personal
it is.
channel.
There
Go
it is.
subscribe to that.
Yep. There
Yep,
it
his
is.
AMVs are incredible.
Well, they're pretty good. They're pretty good.
Would?
I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't go and say incredible, but they are pretty.
Okay,
yeah.
okay, pretty good. There. Besides, would we?
You saying
would,
your own
would we
stuff
write?
is pretty good. Wouldn't you say that's kind of, you know, oh, look at me, I've got a big head. Ha 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 ha.
Would we lie to you?
My shit's incredible.
There it is.
But yes, go click that subscribe button and go to his channel to look at AMVs.
At least hit the subscribe button for this channel.
Yes. Dane, got anything to say to the people?
No, I think I'm good. I think I'm good.
Okie dokie. Got the prototype. You got the editor. And
Wait, you just came up with a new nickname for Eddie.
well, that's what he said.
Editor. I like it.
Take care, everybody.
God, I hate
Take care.
myself.
Bye.
Later.